Hey, Stubby here, and we are back on another episode of Encrypted. So, in between episodes, I went to the moon, failed horribly at trying to record that, and I've started my Pneumaticraft. And I actually recorded an introduction on how I was doing this setup, and I just wasn't a fan of it. So, I'm going to cut here. We're going to go to a tutorial on how to build this pressure chamber and what I did right here, and we'll be back to talk about where we're going. As we are over in my creative test world, and I just wanted to go over the basics of Pneumaticraft. So, Pneumaticraft itself is a pressure oriented mod. Now, to start with, you need this compressed iron. Now, to get it, you can do the explosion method, which is the traditional way, or eventually you can get a pressure chamber to make it nice and easy. Or, like in my single player, I was able to get some off the Armadron tablet. So the explosion way, let's go ahead and grab a stack of iron. And TNT. And let's grab a button. So the easiest way to do it is you throw the TNT down and you light it. Big explosion. And you lose like 30% of it, but that's how you get the compressed iron. At least enough to do the initial build, right? So from there, the first things you're going to want to work on is the pressure chamber. So the pressure chamber can be solid or with a glass wall, and it can be done in a 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5 structure. So this right here would be the 3x3. You can add another row to make a 4x4, or go into the 5x5. Go ahead and close this off. Now we can go ahead from here. If you want, you can make it all solid. Can't see anything, but what I like about Pneumaticraft is when the glass is working properly, it's a pretty cool little mod. You get to see the little hatches working, you get to see the stuff being built. It's just rather fun to watch. And we'll click that in. And this is the basics of the structure. Now it's missing three things. First thing we're missing is a pressure chamber, so we'll go ahead and place that right there. And that allows us to build pressure. But what else do we need? Well, we need input and output. So we're going to break those right here. Now the easiest way to do this, if you look at the pressure chamber block, the valve interface as it's called, there's a O for output, or blue for output, and orange for blue for input, orange for output. Sorry, ooh. And they're directional. So the easiest way I found to do it is just click right there, click right here. Now I have an input side and an output side, and it works perfectly. I can go in, I have everything working. I can pipe stuff in through here. Everything is great, except you have to add power, and that's where the compressors come in. So we can add ourselves some piping and throw an air compressor down. Now, the more you have, the better it'll do, but these pipes right here are good to 5 bar. You see up in left where it says pressure 0.00 out of 5. This can explode. So what we want is this here, the security upgrade, which basically causes it to vent after 5, or right at 5. So before it becomes a threat to itself, it will vent. This will slowly build up pressure here, then build up its pressure into here. And once it's at the right recipe, some of them are 1 bar, some of them are 1.5 bar. There's various pressure ratings needed for the different items. You can go through and get the different items we needed. And what we use this for is, at least so far in our single player, is we making the compressed iron, we're making the empty PCBs, and we had to make the etching acid. So that's what that goes for. The next things you need to focus on is this etching tank, which you'll put the etching acid in. This is how you make the PCB. So we could put an empty PCB in here. Or excuse me, we need to Skipped a step. UV light box. Almost forgot. So the UV light box, you would take the empty PCBs and they would slowly gain a chance to have a successful etching up to 100%. You take that into here, and this will slowly process until it gets to 100%. Now, if you didn't have a success chance of 100%, then you could possibly have a failure. So that's what these two outputs are for. You have an unassembled that'll go to the top, or a failed that'll go to the bottom. The faileds, you just throw them in a blast furnace, and they're back to this, and you do it all over again. Now, this is a slow process. As you can see, we're at, what, 18%, 19%, but it doesn't use any of the acid. Now, you can heat this up to, I believe, 50 degrees Celsius, and this will speed up dramatically, but it'll slowly start using the acid. So, kind of patience saves you here. And once you have the PCBs, you can then turn those into finished PCBs. And the finished PCB is made by crafting it with 2 transistors and 2 capacitors. The capacitors is gold nuggets, slime, and plastic. Transistors is redstone instead of slime. And these are what we use to craft all of these assembly lines. Now, on the assembly line, I'm going to show you how to set it up, how I set it up. I'm going to have my 2 chests with 3 spaces in the middle. I'm going to put my assembly platform right here. Boom. Now we have our import, which is going to pull from this chest and place it into here. We have our export, exact opposite. You have the drill, which for our recipe we don't need, and the laser. The last thing you need is the assembly controller. Now with the controller, you have to have a program, and since we only need the laser, that's the program I'm putting in here. So it also makes it so I could break this, I don't need it. And this is the entire assembly line. But the only thing it is missing is power. So again, we would need to hook a compressor up or hook it into our compressor line. Look at that steam go. There we go. And let it build up its pressure. Now, as this builds up, it will get us to the point that it'll have enough pressure to start crafting. Now, the recipe we're going to do in the crafting is crypto. We're going to take an encrypted ingot with our laser program to make the cryptocurrency. And to get this, it's smelting the encrypted ore, which we get from this process right here, which you should see in my single player. So now if I take a stack of these and I throw it in here, as it builds up the pressure needed, it will slowly start working. And I believe it needs 3.5 bars. So it's not going to do it quite yet. But once it gets to 3.5 bar, let's see, do we have a... Is there a creative one? One, 2, 3, 4 bar. There we go. Nice and clean. Haha. So now it's running. You're going to see it go. And it's very, very slow. Very slow. There's speed upgrades. There's volume upgrades. And you'll see it take the ingot, drop it in here. Then you'll see the laser come across. And if you look right here on the upgrades, you can see what it'll take. Security will help it from exploding. We can speed it up to 10 times. Increase the air capacity to make sure it's constant and doesn't drop it from moving its speed. So, for example, if we did volume and we did speed, let's go into this one. At new speed and security. and I put that, you're going to see it moving a lot faster. Should stay. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Be much faster process now. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And we got our ingot. And this will be the same assembly line concept I'm going to be using. So there's that. Back to the real world. Okay, so now that we are back, we're waiting on this. It's about 0.6 bar. I need to get it up to 1, and this will get us our etching acid. I do have the UV light box ready for my PCBs, which I have to craft still. And I have the etching tank, which we'll probably just throw nonchalantly out of the way over here for now. The last thing I wanted to make was the charging station. I do need to get some more stone and some brick. Do we have time? We do. And display. Hopefully that's working. Looks like it's working. And let's do one of these as mini. Pop it in right here. Get our clay going into bricks. And let's make our charging station. All right. I'm excited to have this bad boy here. And I think we can just place it like that. This should allow us to get our tablet. I never forget the proper name of it. Amadron. And that'll just charge up. Well, we're going to hold off and wait on that just a few minutes, though. Let's put that in there. We'll clean that up. Clean that up. See, this is going to go back up here. Just got to try to clean this up a little bit. And let's see where we're at. We are at 0.72. Okay. The last thing we're going to need is the PCBs. Empty PCBs is, oh, I could do blast furnace broken one. Nice. Plastic sheets. And again with the PCB, it's going to be 2 redstone torches and 3 gold nuggets per. Oh, you're getting close. You're getting close. So hopefully this will be enough to knock out those. And we'll be able to put our PCBs in here. Get them all perfected, I guess. And we'll dump them over here with the etching and hopefully the ones that work. Do I have a blast furnace? Let's go ahead and make one of those bad boys. And we'll just have this up here for now right there. Any broken ones we'll be able to recook. And this is going to be awesome. So once we get done with this part of Pneumaticraft, we'll be able to work towards the next part of it, which is the assembly. This whole process, right? We're going to use a platform. We're going to have the import. We're going to have the export. We're going to have the laser and the controller. And that is going to be a godsend because of right here. We are going to make this bad boy. And we are going to make ourselves infinite cryptocurrency, which means all the stuff from the store will be ours. Come on, just finish. Just finish. I can taste the money. Oh, you guys are just burning through my coal, aren't you? Feel like I need to clean up. Cancel. There we go. 0.9. We are almost there, guys. Almost there. I'm gonna have to make a better spot for this room. Actually, I probably could just throw it right on top of the reactor and nobody would be any the wiser. I might just do that. Nice way to hide that floor. But I have to go to the ceiling. That's okay. I'll bring that one up one. Put that here. And we'll handle all the compressor stuff along the wall. That'll work. I like it. We can have compressor. We could have input, output. Yeah. Blast furnace. Etching tank is going to help us out. Now, with the etching tank, one thing you guys can do is you can heat it up. It's been so long since I've used it. I'm trying to remember properly, but I believe when you heat it, it actually burns through the acid slowly. So you'll have to replenish the acid over time. And without heating it, it doesn't, but it's way slower. If I remember correctly. I'm not 100% on that, so please don't yell at me if I'm wrong. But if I am wrong, please throw something down in the comments so we can get some clarification on that. 97. Oh, look, you can see the pressure. It's there. It's building up. Why does it have two plastic buckets in there? That's going to be an interesting one. Let's go ahead and all. That's better. There you go. That should be the one bar. And it did it right away. Bucket of etching acid. Look at that. So now we can go ahead and throw. It was that. And let's see right here. So if we put the bucket and wait for these PCBs. Speed upgrade I could do. Okay. working now? Should be everything. .5 bar. Oh, I need more pressure. We need more pressure. All right, it's there. It's almost there. PCBs. 1.49, 1.5. Here we go. Pressure. Under pressure. I like how this keeps changing. Nope. And now we take these PCBs and we'll dump them into... nope. We want to put them in here. Into the UV light box. Okay, so it's going to take a few minutes. So let's just talk about it. This is basically, we're going to leave one at a time in here, get it up to the etch success chance of 100%. The better the chance, less we have to worry about the broken ones. I could go take these 0 ones in there, they're just going to get broken, and we just have to keep doing them over and over again. But I do have the blast furnace just in case, so if for some reason I get to say 99% and got to stop, boom, we're still good. So I'm going to go ahead and let these run through this stack right here. And then we'll get them over here into the etching tank, which is just very similar. We should just drop them in. And then you see right here, this will be the successful or the broken. And at the 100%, they should all go up here. So once all this is done, we'll pop back and get to moving. I did set up a little bit of an automation here, so I had the blank ones in here, and they fed in. Once they got their UVs, they fed into this chest for overflow. They got sketched into their acid, and our 21 unassembled PCBs. That place needs to get reworked. I don't think there's actually a quest for it, which is okay. We know what we want to make. And we can go ahead and throw our tablet on this charging station now. Manage upgrades. Oh, cool. I guess we'll let that run, charge up, should be good. And we can look at the things we want to craft. So the things I want to craft, looking over here, are going to be the assembly. The assembly I lost it. Where'd it go? Assembly platform, I/O unit import, export, laser, and the controller. So let's go down, see what we have, what we need, and get this set up. All right, so we are going to need finished PCBs. This is going to be for all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, so I'll need 14. More. Okay, there's definitely gonna be some more crafting. Not a problem. We can knock that out. I should have looked at that part of the recipe. We're gonna have to make some pneumatic cylinders, which is gonna be lots of plastic. We're gonna have to make the finished PCBs. Maybe some slime, gold, and some more plastic sheets. And the easiest way we can make that will probably be this polyvinyl chloride. Now, there will be some other ways I could make it. Dry rubber. But I think I'm going to stick with the chloride one. It's probably the simplest. So, it's a good spot. I'm going to probably just wrap it up here. It may be a bit of a shorter episode. But you guys kind of see what we got to do. In between episodes, I will get this set up. And I will show right now what the whole plan is. So if we look at the crypto, we can take this encrypted ingots through the machines and get the cryptocurrency. So this is what we're working on with the Mattercraft. I also have to get the encrypted ingot, which is going to be a smelter on the encrypted ore, which is basically 3 deployers on the encrypted matter and stone. So cobblegen to a furnace through 4 deployers into a smelter. And that'll turn and go into my assembly. And then we have cryptocurrency. And then suddenly, all of this becomes free. Isn't that just glorious? But until next time, I will see you guys around. And it is good to be back. So, Stubby out.